Body double. Está la cosa. Te cae a 9 Free SPI 1, 2, and 4.
Talking to the heart. I'm talking to the heart.
Press my line, nigga.
Raising up, only one
BS,
thing.
BS, and
All I
BS.
know, gotta
On
bring the
that
game.
BS.
Press my line, to the day I die.
Baby
Got too
Spider,
many homies and they all in the
Benji
sky.
Stone,
Press
and
my
Blue Smurf on that bullshit.
Rap my game. Press my line.
Big Mac music.
Rap my game.
I'm from J-Box crib. Bubby bumping his gums. Hold up, homie. Had you take the old smoker that toed on toe. Man, Snoopy Blue got cut off beautiful. Ran from Baby Spider at Crip Jackie funeral. Mr. Nonsense, mama ignorant asshole. At the park with that Mark nigga infant asthma. Wanna talk about phase. It's only one problem. Look online, SPI been the only one squabbling. Squabble in the gas station, squabble in the set. In the 6 O's and red shoes on 600 neck. Me and Tiny double up, squabbled in the jacks. I ain't seen that other motherfucker squabble yet. Talking about squabble. Man, niggas ain't squabble. Niggas is running your mouth. Runner, you just a runner.
Running tail with Bumpy said.
Raising up, only one thing. All I know, gotta bring the game. Press my line, to the day I die. Got too many homies and they all in the sky. Press my game. Rap my game. Press my line. Rap my game.
Press my line, rep my game, SPI, that's my name. Shout out to the Google gang, to everybody that pulled up for the live. Y'all see the title, just trying to create some content consistently, constantly, and continuously on the Black Box. I got one of my brother, cousins, family members, homies. The Black Box is home to him, although he hasn't appeared many, many times. This is home. He's no stranger. From the Bay, California, my boy Town Business Sports finna pull up. And we just gonna politic on some current events, sports related, of course, because that's his expertise, but just in the genre, y'all see the title, man. So with no further ado, let me get my boy up in here. TBS, what it do, Brody?
Hey man, what's going on, man? Appreciate you having me on here, man. Appreciate you making some time for me to make an appearance. It's always an honor to come on the Black Box, man. Appreciate you, man.
That's long overdue for you to make a return, man. So it is what it is in this thing. There's a lot going on in the world of sports. I don't know if you was familiar or interested in the amateur level. There was actual pro fights there, actually. Last night, the Brand Risk, along with Aiden Ross, Adam 22, Blueface. Did you pay attention to that event at all?
Yeah, I heard about it. You know, I'm a big fan of Blueface. I heard he came up short, but I think one of the things that could attribute to it, I wish Blueface wouldn't have took on some hard sparring with Keyshawn Davis, because, you know, when you're a professional boxer, you're supposed to cut off sparring like between 10 to 14 days before a match. Because, you know, I've been around a lot of, you know, pros and everything. Everybody knows that, you know, I'm real close with Bill and Devin Haney and everything. So, and then plus I cover a lot of boxing around the Bay Area. So I've been in these camps and stuff. So due to the fact that, you know, Blueface had like, you know, a little bit of like his nose was busted and, you know, he was touched up a little bit. I don't know if that can totally contribute to him losing the fight, but it could have played a factor because he didn't give his body enough time to heal up. And he was doing, from what I saw, he was doing some hard sparring. So I think for future references, the next time Blueface have a match, Blueface need to cut off sparring like between, you know, 10 to 14 days. You should not spar a week in advance before a fight, because depending on how your body heals up, it could play a role in, you know, what happens when you get in the ring.
I think you're on to something by suggesting that sparring may have affected his performance. However, I don't believe it was fatigue, wear and tear, or damage from sparring that caused him to be less than successful. I believe, based on his experience in the ring with those like Keyshawn, even Mayweather, and other professionals caused him to have a false sense of security and superiority over his opponent and caused him to underestimate his opponent because I think he felt like, and I think he's very aware now that all those professionals that he was in the ring with were at 10%. But they don't tell you I'm going to go at 10% and laugh at you. They go in there, they respect what you're doing and give you some work and make you feel like you were slightly effective. And I think that kind of fucked with his psyche and made him think he was going to go in there and just fuck over Chabu.
Yeah, that could attribute to what happened, but what the point that I'm trying to make is, like I said, you just never know, and also yes, boxing is just as much mental as it is physical. And then maybe Blueface was feeling himself a little bit, but like I said, when I saw the sparring with him and Keyshawn, and I saw that he had a little bit of damage, I said, okay, he shouldn't have sparred with him like a week into the fight. So hopefully this is a learning curve for Blue, because I've seen him and he got talent. And you have to understand also, as we always say, it's levels to everything. It's levels to
layers.
Hey, just like to the streets, you have the G, then you go to OG, then you go double OG, then you go to triple OG. Then, you know, if you got 40 years in the game, then you go to Supreme OG. So it's levels to everything. He have to remember that Keyshawn is a professional boxer. Floyd is a Hall of Fame boxer. So like that song Brand Nubian made a while back, don't let it go to your head. But let's just hope Blueface learns from this. But I would like to see Blueface get back in the ring because I do think he got some talent. And he only
I respect your boxing expertise too much to allow you to, glaze or just show this much appreciation for Blueface's performance, and you haven't seen not one clip or nothing.
Nah, I haven't seen it.
Fuck that! I gotta show you a couple clips or something. Let's see. And you know they were calling this a tune-up fight for Blueface, leading up to his fight against Swaggy P. I tend to believe that the fight against Swaggy P is not going to take place. But let me give you gotta kind of, because you know everything that you're saying about Blueface, I tend to agree with. That's exactly all my thinking leading up into the fight. But what I'm trying to tell you is he stood in the ring with that same confidence that you and I expect him that he should have, but that's all he had was confidence. He didn't let his hands go. He did not utilize his advantage of the reach. He did not measure the distance. Let me. I know you know boxing, so hold on. Let me give you a little preview of what took place.
This is it, boys. The last round, Grammars number 13. If you had an amazing time in the chat, it would be
You know what else? This is also, he's dealing with somebody who's used to being 220 pounds plus. And Blueface is new to carrying around 200 pounds.
No, he missed it.
Yeah! He's missing.
Oh, no. No, he getting on him, though.
And he was going to sleep. He's
yeah, he got him, He got him. Trust me. Hey, he got to get.
You see, the confidence is there. He has the height and the distance advantage. And he's not utilizing any of that to be effective.
Now, trust me.
I'm coming up with the chin shots. Yeah.
See how he threw that weak jab and chased it with that weak ass left?
He should have
measure him out and make that jab be something stiff to run into every time. Go ahead.
Yeah, and also what Blue could have did since he had him up against the ropes, he could have used the high guard and then he could have went under because that right side is just calling for a body shot.
But neither of them utilize body shots as much as they should have. It shows their lack of experience and professionalism. But you know, another note I'll take from what you brought up when Keyshawn and Blueface finished sparring, it was kind of viral when Keyshawn was schooling Blueface on how he should breathe. I noticed in this fight, Blueface was overthinking about correcting his breathing to what he had recently learned. And once it got to getting real, you know how you abandon that shit you're trying to master. And then he got to overdoing the mouth breathing that he was trying to, he was trying to master too many techniques at once, I believe, as well.
Yeah, well, they tell you when you they tell you like it's a certain way you supposed to breathe when you like throwing punches, because as you know, in the streets, shit, after 4 or 5 punches, you start to lose wind, you start to gas out and stuff. So it's certain breathing techniques that you need to have.
It's a lot of motherfuckers who have never really fought, who don't have no idea how you just said it, like it's common knowledge. I get it, but people don't know how quick it is for a non-athletic boxing, non-athlete to, you know how quick the average street fight is. You made a hell of a point. You gas out quick, let alone having 8, 10, 12 ounces of leather on hanging on your wrist. That makes it even, you feel me?
Yeah, because you know, in the streets, man, listen, you got like 2 minutes to make this shit happen. Because either you gonna gas out, it's best to just try to throw like 2 or 3, 4, 5 quick ones, get them on the ground, stomp them out, and get up out of there. Because you're gonna get tired. If this dude got something, and if you not connecting, you're really gonna gas out. So it's a difference between the streets and then boxing. So basically, it's tougher to be in the streets than it is boxing. But Blueface, he need more experience. And I think if he really gonna pursue this boxing stuff, he need to like hire a more seasoned trainer. And there's quite a few people out there that I can link him up with. I didn't like the dude he was training with.
Oh, really? You don't approve? Are you familiar with the guy, or you don't like him because you're not familiar with him?
I hadn't seen the dude, but then you in Los Angeles, they got some very reputable trainers out there and stuff. So I just think Blueface could have went with a more seasoned trainer, because Blueface seemed like he really wanted to pursue this boxing thing. And to be honest with you, he only 29. And if he's serious about it, who knows? If you know he gets some fights in and stuff, and Blueface is pretty big. I mean, the dude is like 6'3", and also it's like you said, that dude walked around over 200 pounds, right? Blueface, before he went in, he was like what, in the 180s?
Barely, he's like maybe 178 to 190.
See, it's a weight thing too. That's why they have weight classes.
You brought up a point I would love to ask you about. You don't think this early on in his journey in boxing, suffering a loss to such a low profile opponent doesn't hinder his future? Because we know he's not a pure boxer. So he was trying to leverage one level of popularity against his natural athletic skills and his lack of fear to fight. And he likes to fight. He's not scared to fight. He's popular. So it was kind of natural for him to try this. And he's an athlete, although he's not a natural boxer. So do you think with suffering this type of loss, even though he might not accept the loss as an official loss, we can all see, even those in our heart that was Crip, I was pulling for him. He didn't pull it off. There's a lot, everybody that he will be a contender from this point forward is going to be more skilled, more professional than Chabu. How do you really quantify or measure his chances in actually having a career in boxing?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I mean, he lost by unanimous decision, right? He lost unanimous decision, right? Like correct, he lost what?
Correct.
Okay.
All three.
So he lost.
All he lost. What? He beat you.
What? So it was 4-2.
It was I think I don't know the numbers, but it was each judge gave it a 2-point, like 98, 96, 98, 96, 98, 96. Blueface, from my assessment, not really understanding the word unanimous, thought that meant you didn't win no rounds. So
no.
Yeah, that's what he thought. But when he went to say, I think it was at least 4-2. To me, he was saying the same thing the judges said. You lost by 2 points. It doesn't mean you didn't win any rounds, but overall, you lost 2/3 of the round is what they were stating.
Okay, so it was okay. Well, I'll put it to you this way: he didn't get slept, so I think he could bounce back. Because let me tell you something, Lo. Me and you know who Bernard Hopkins is. One of the greatest middleweights, light heavyweights, super middleweight that ever fought. Philly. He lost his first professional fight, and he went on to become a Hall of Famer. He went on to become undisputed. So I think Blue can bounce back. I just think he just need to really I think he need to zero in, because one thing about Blue, he's not a full-time boxer like you said. He's a celebrity. He's a rapper. He does acting. He does content. So he wearing a lot of hats. But if he's serious about the boxing thing and he reset, he dedicated himself. Yeah, I think he can bounce back, because I see some skills in Blue. He could use that height to his advantage.
I definitely see the potential, but you said a lot right there, and I think you kind of explain why Blueface may not have a future. What Bernard Hopkins, I'm sure, went through was, after that loss, he over-dedicated himself to nothing but boxing and training. I'm not sure Blueface has a space for that in his life. And I see the necessity for that much dedication for him to actually be competitive with the person who is that dedicated, that's actually his weight, actually his size. And at his age, almost every boxer he encounters moving forward will be more experienced than him. So in order for him to counteract that, he's going to have to dedicate himself to what you may imagine Bernard Hopkins did. And I don't believe he actually has the time to do so.
And see, that's a decision that Blueface is gonna have to make. If he really want to dive deep into the boxing, he's gonna have to limit some of his activities. I know boxing is not his main source of income. We know where his main source of income come from. It come from the businesses. It come from the music. It come from the streaming and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, if he plans to do it again, at least going into his next fight, he need to just be completely focused.
So
I'm talking about he need to be locked in, and he need to be locked in.
Locked in,
so
I like that. Locked in low.
I see. I just gave you a trademark.
No,
hey man, trademark that shit.
It's levels and layers when we get locked and low. But check this out. Are you saying, as a betting man, if you were to watch him for the next 9 months, he'll be as visible streaming, reality TV, partying, rapping, and then announce a fight like against Swaggy P? As a betting man, would you then put your money against him because you are aware he did not make this decision to go tunnel vision with boxing, and now Swaggy P is very comfortable in the ring, very comfortable?
Well, like I said, this is a decision that Blueface is gonna have to make, because I seen the partying afterwards. Because I don't know if you know, Loke, they tell you as a fighter between camps, they tell you straight up, no women. They tell you no women, straight up.
That semen retention shit is real.
Yes, I don't know if you know, Loke. You know about boxing. You remember the first Sugar Ray Leonard Roberto Duran fight?
All I know is my daddy. I know my daddy told me, my daddy's 6'3", 300, lean, probably 260, 270 back then. My mama like 5'2", 5'3". My daddy hands is like this. My mama hands is tiny. She said love the whole big Tommy hand. But all I know is my daddy told me he was in attendance that night. Well, the night when No Mas, is this the No Mas night?
No Mas was the second fight. The first fight was the one Sugar Ray Leonard lost.
I'm gonna let you get back to your point, but the No Mas night, my daddy said they was in that arena. And when that got to hollering No Mas, all he heard was a bunch of Spanish. Beer can hit him in the back of the neck. He grabbed my mama and they was out of there. They did not like that No Mas. And just imagine me growing up hearing this story all my life and then notice as a youngster and as an adult, every time they get in the ring, they do it for the Raza here, Mexico. That's why I love Floyd on Cinco de Mayo with the red, white, green sombrero. He came out and swang and danced and did his thing. Because every time they get in the ring, they say they're doing it for that. That ain't got shit to do with it. Think about ICE and the new politics. They never come in there and say, I do it for that America. It's always they fighting for this thing. So that's what we happen to be up against. That's why I love the fact we have an Andre Ward, a Mayweather, a Gervonta, a Bud Crawford. Who else on the list? We're going to give it to Haney. The donuts. How many of them got them major donuts? You feel me? But I don't mean to get off track. Go ahead, bro, nigga. Break your bread.
No, I like the route you was going. I mean, my thing is with this, I know Floyd was trying to taunt Oscar De La Hoya a little bit, but then, I mean, Loke, to a certain degree, I kind of don't care for that because I feel like to a certain degree, we need to represent who we are too. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was boxing, if I was boxing and I was fighting somebody that wasn't black, I'm letting it be known. I might come out with a Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X shirt. I may come out with a Huey P. Newton, a Fred Hampton shirt, because I'm representing that blackness.
You saw that other than him taunting. You saw him more paying homage than being antagonistic with their colors and their shit. I looked at it like he was being antagonistic, and you looked like you saw it as him paying homage.
Yeah, I kind of don't care for that. It's kind of up and down. It's very debatable.
Favorite guy, and I know definitely Tank is far from your favorite guy. So I don't want to take you down that road. But let me give you the rest of what took place on last night, just so you can get a little more.
I'm gonna watch the footage. I promise you.
Burst of energy right here, but why did you put his weight on him?
Because that's what he's supposed to do, dummy.
Hey, trust me, we need a burst of energy right here. He got my.
You saw that? He planted and that hook landed right on the chin.
Oh my God, Jonathan, what are you doing, man? Jonathan!
I just think of Fraser Ali when I see the body types.
What are you doing? Come on, man. Why'd you give me the headlock? What, man? Oh.
Tired. He talking about these new greetings. Just tell him he don't know how to
Let's
greet
go,
his
baby.
nose
Let's
yet.
go. Get him. Get him now. Get him now. Here. Get him now with another straight left. Let's go.
Being a slimmer, more athletic guy, this was his. They said they went 6 rounds in order for Blueface to have the advantage. This one is his. He's supposed to be letting his arms go crazy. He couldn't do it. He didn't have the energy. You know.
Well, see, it's a lot of opportunity. Blueface need to learn how to feint, Loke. That's where the dude don't know which angle you gonna throw a punch from.
I hope you explain that to the audience, nigga. Like I don't know what a feint is, but go ahead.
Well, the feint is it's like when you coming in and they don't know what angle you gonna throw a punch from. Is you gonna go left? They call it a feint.
The closest word that sounds like feint, fake. Fake, fake, same thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of like you want them to think that you finna throw one particular punch, but then you throw something else. They call it a feint. But I see a lot of opportunity that Blueface missed. This is where the experience come in. But he should run it back. If you get Blueface on the phone and ask for a rematch, and then ask for a rematch and tell him if he really serious about it. cut off everything, however long the camp is. Because usually, Loke, when a fighter is gonna have a fight, a major fight, they have usually a 6 to 8 week camp.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. That's conditioning, getting in shape, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I'm saying about the sparring. He should have cut off the sparring. He should have cut off the sparring 10 days before the fight. So hopefully, like I said, this is a learning curve. And if Blueface serious, shit, I'll watch the tape with Blueface. You know what I'm saying? And tell him where he went wrong and stuff. I'll watch the tape with him and tell him shit.
You know, Blueface got a certain individual in his ear, and then he has access to so much.
Oh, my God.
You probably would never be able to appreciate your qualifications and even review your virtual resume. So you might get shouted out right any point, but once you hear something good, once you hear anything, you can't unhear it. Any game you want to give, you might as well go and throw it out there.
I mean, I'm just saying, Blueface, if you're watching, ask dude to run it back, take your camp seriously, and, you know, cut off the, like, however long the camp is, just cut off the side stuff, cut off. I mean, if you serious, really train the stuff. Definitely cut off the women. Definitely cut that off, Tig. It may be hard, but cut off the women. Look at the tape. Look at what you did wrong. Because I see a lot of fixable things that Blueface could do, some adjustments he can make where he could do a lot better if they have a rebound. I think they should run it back. I'm going to watch the fight, and I'm going to analyze it, and I'm going to see where Blueface went wrong at. And, you know, but I'm going to say this much about Blueface, man. I just have a lot of question marks about the company he keep and stuff. Now, I happen to see who was part of this, who like put this event together. I gotta say this much. I don't care for that Aiden Ross dude. I don't care for that dude at all.
Me either. Neither do I. Based on things that he's professed out of his own mouth, him and the little white boy he was sitting next to, him and Neon, I have a lack of appreciation for both of them for the exact same reason. So when I see my people in their politics, I don't want to skip subjects, but we're going to let that segue into the next subject without giving it away yet. So okay. Before you go there, let's wrap up the actual bout. Matter of fact, this is what we was on. And then we'll go to that. That'd be a good segue.
Don't let it get on. No. Man, stop it.
Blueface definitely needs to focus on cardio. He get his cardio down, I think he could be very, very effective. But I think the only reason he didn't win his fight was because of lack. I think the less fit fighter had better cardio, and that's all it was.
No, that's what gets you tired of him putting on your weight the whole fight. The whole fight, you got to do something now, dog.
What Blueface learned less than a week ago about breathing, Chabu has been knowing for years, and you could tell. He was sitting there. I could tell Chabu watched the video and said, damn, this nigga don't even know how to breathe in the ring. And he stuck to the techniques he's been learned and waited for bad breathing to affect Blueface. Watch when you watch it and remember the shit I told you.
You see that? You see that frame? You see that frame right there? Blueface need to have his hand up. Oh,
but look how he's tired. He knows all that. He been in there with Mayweather, Keyshawn, Ryan Garcia. He knows that. His brain is telling him that the nigga is tired. Look at him. Look how loopy that punch was. You can see he's not throwing a punch. He's dragging the punch up with everything in him. Look.
You got to do something now, dog.
You saw that. You saw that.
Yeah. He could have. You know what's so funny, Loke?
Huh?
Blueface could have threw an overhand right as dude was coming in, and he would have hit dude flush, and he would have ended the fight.
This is Blueface first heavyweight experience. Usually Blueface is the slender, stronger opponent. Now he's been here with somebody heavier than him, that's not scared of him, that understands boxing. He does not have the natural capabilities you have, but this dude has been boxing a little longer than you. He understands boxing, and he knows he's heavier than you. And the first 2-3 rounds, he used to use his weight to make you exhausted. And you're looking at a Blueface who brain knows all the answers, but his body cannot execute them because he's tired.
Dog.
You see how he slipped the punch? He understands that, but he couldn't counter. The counter came tomorrow. Watch it again. He slipped the punch today and countered the next day.
You got to do something now, dog.
Yeah. Why you ain't counter yet? Shout out to Blueface. He just tired, bro.
Come on, hit him with all your might. You gonna knock him out.
When the longer guy gets the shorter guy against the ropes, that's the perfect time to use your toe and your jab to measure the distance and go dumb. But he was so tired.
Come on, hit him right there.
Oh, man, we lost this one, dog. Oh, man. It's going to be a close one.
I'll leave it at that for the bout. We ain't got to go no further into that. Oh, shit. Where we at, man? Okay, let me get us back right. Yeah, so I give you a better idea what happened in the ring, man. So even when you go watch it from start to finish, you're not going to see much more than that.
I'm going to definitely check it out because I was covering another fight. That actually happened in your area too. I forgot to ask you, did you want to go, man? I could have.
Look, y'all, this dude has been sending me backstage access to high profile, low profile amateur boxing matches for like 3 or 4 years. I had very little interest going other than a spectator, but he was always sending me access to be like, I could be there as media. I never have utilized it because I was never either schedule wise or I never really could, in my mind, find out why I should be there. But y'all know the Black Box has been outside. We've invested in cameras. I took pictures of the cameras, showed him how I built it up. Since I showed him I'm ready to go outside and go backstage, I ain't got no invites. And the first time he got an opera, I just showed him my hardware, y'all. I got multiple cameras. They built up, and he ain't sent me the invite. What did I miss?
I got you because I could have sent you to the Kenneth Sims Barboza fight, and it was in how far is you from the Honda Center
in Anaheim?
Yeah.
If you're talking about regular day, just if I Google it right now, what is it? Let's see, 1:45 on a Sunday, probably less than 45 minutes.
Next time, I'm cool. I got juice with Golden Boy. I definitely could get you in there. I got juice with them. I will get you into the next one. I will get you into the next one.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Okay, you just said Golden Boy. That's a brand name. Wow. But you've been talking this Haney shit for a minute, bro. Acting like Pops was finna, not son, not Devin, but you said Pops had some shit to say on the Black Box. So I didn't never press you, but I'm just, look, shout out to Crip Mac. Crip Mac bought this bottle for me. You fired me? But yeah, I'm sipping, and now we being candid. Is the Haney plug the same? I love to talk.
Oh yeah. I just gotta get him. I just gotta tell him you said to come on here. I can make that happen because they getting ready. They getting ready to fight Rolly Ramiro May the 30th in Las Vegas.
What's your thought on that? Is that competition or is that just padding your stats?
I think it's a good fight because, based off what happened to Devin with the Ryan Garcia fight, he got to find his way, based off the shit. Ryan was on that shit. Ryan was juiced up to the core, and then a lot of other shit went on. He didn't fight Devin fighting 2 big punches in a row. He fight 2 months. Rolly.
TB, are you really are you giving Devin that acknowledgement just to accept the game of boxing moving forward? Does he really get that pass? Because I saw Mayweather analyze it before all the controversy and give his explanation as to why the left hook was so dangerous to Devin. And I don't think it really has anything to do with what may or may not have been in Ryan's system, bro. You don't think that's somewhat of a cop out, or am I tripping?
Nah, because it's like that's like saying if the police pull you over and you got alcohol in your system and you saying, well, you know, I only had a little bit of alcohol, and you do that test, well, they ain't gonna care how much you had to drink. If you over the limit of which they say you can legally drive, they taking you to jail. And they banned for a reason. They call PEDs for a reason. And to sit up there and say that the left hook might not have been enhanced, because that's funny. That left hook wasn't all that effective as soon as he come off the suspension and fight rolling. At the end of the day, I don't think that's right, because the man, if the steroids didn't give them an advantage, then why are they banned? They call PEDs for a reason. They call performance enhancing drugs. What do they do? Enhance your performance.
Do your comparison to the DUI? This, okay, yeah, you caught me. It's in my system. You booked me. But that does not mean I have had one DUI in my life, and it was a couple years ago. I'm 50 years old. I have been guilty of DUI almost every day of my life moving up until then. My father always told me he got his first one as an older man, like, all right, nigga. Because I done got pulled over under influence many times, act like I was immune. So when you compare it to getting a DUI, having it in my system, even though I'm penalized if I get charged, does not mean I cannot function properly, because I did it all my life. So just because he had it in his system, if you want to compare it to a DUI, doesn't mean it gives him the ultimate advantage over any opponent. And I, with a DUI impaired system, have made it home successfully 97,000 million times. So yeah. The same way I believe people who ever had whatever he had in his system have got their ass whooped before too.
Well, I mean, you may have made it home safe, but at the end of the day, it's a known fact that alcohol impairs you. Now, some people may function better under the influence. They may not you may function a little bit better than the other guy, but at the same time, you know, you managed to get home without like crashing into something or somebody and not hurting yourself. It's like they tell you, you're responsible for what you put in your body at the end of the day. And if you watch the fight, yeah, Devin made some mistakes in that fight, because if you actually watch the actual fight, the rounds that Devin didn't get clipped in, he was actually winning the fight going away. But at the same time, they have rules and regulations. It was a lot of things Ryan didn't do. He didn't make weight. He intentionally didn't make weight. It was just a lot of, he lied about how the shit got in the system. And this thing, and then it's a lot of fighters that's been linked to PED use. They have rules and regulations. It says you are not supposed to use PEDs.
I think it's a lot more rampant than this situation expresses it to be. And I think it's a lot.
And let me give you another example.
A lot less of a factor than the Haney camp claims, just based on what you just said, bro. I think Haney and Devin was potentially off some of the same, probably regulated to a better amount to where it wasn't detected. This is what I'm talking about. I don't think nobody is innocent. And I think they were looking for any reason to try to they didn't want, Mayweather made the donut the zero fly. And Devin and his daddy, they want a donut. That's why they're so selective with their opponents, with this big, long, lanky, physically dominant over everybody. But he would have never got in there with Bud. But go ahead.
Well, one, Bud is Bud. And, Bud is an all-time great. And then Devin was fighting at a lower weight class anyway. They never would have been able to fight anyway, because Bud finished his career at 168. Devin right now is campaigning at 147. coming up from 140. Devin has moved up.
You classifying that 168 finish as if that was his comfort zone. He went up to that intentionally to get at the boy. He was comfortable at a lower weight before that bout. He went up to get at Canelo, correct?
Yeah, but Devin was campaigning that they never the weight classes never made sense because when Bud was fighting at 135, Devin was like in the 120s. So that's why they never, like, weight wise they never would have fought.
Do me a favor.
Bud is that dude though. Bud, one of my all-time favorite fighters.
I was asleep for a while. I hate the fact I missed the organic. I've gone back and educated myself that nigga's a cold nigga. I don't know how his journey wasn't more celebrated and more popularized. That's a bad mother unorthodox.
You know why? I can tell you why. I'm glad that you brought that up. For the most part, we already know who makes the needle move when it pertains to boxing. But then after the post-Floyd, Andre Ward, after they left, they wanted to elevate a non-black because we were too dominant. So then they started to try to do it went from the black fighters to anybody but the brothers. You started to see the dudes like Triple G, who was one of the most overrated fighters that I've seen. Then they wanted to do the Lomachenko. They had this intentional movement to elevate and push the black fighters to the back due to our dominance. So then they started so after Floyd, remember, Floyd and Andre Ward damn near left at the same time. Now Floyd came back a couple of years. No, Floyd came back 2 years later to fight Conor McGregor for his 50th fight, which, to be honest with you, that shouldn't have counted. Then Andre Ward left. So then all of a sudden, they started pushing these dudes like Lomachenko. Then they went to Sergey Cope. Then they started to push Canelo. They tried to push us to the back burner. So then that's when Bud started to make his emergence. But he had to try to play catch up with Canelo. But then the same thing could be said about Canelo, because Canelo was very selective with some of the dudes that he fought. Canelo's always struggled with dudes like that.
Everybody says that as if that's a negative, but is that not the name of the game? Because even picking your battles has gotten a bad rap. But I was taught a wise general is very calculated before he goes to war. And he, like, in the sense of chess, he attempts to calculate all potential ramifications of every single step he would make. Isn't that the wise way to move? To be careful who you encounter at which moment?
I think what happened was, and this is the Floyd Mayweather effect, I think what happened was people got too fixated on basically wanting to keep they zero intact. Because if you look at the 80s, you look at the Sugar Ray Leonards, you look at Hagler, you look at Hearns, Duran, some of those dudes, they all fought each other. They wasn't worried about loss. If you look at the Larry Holmes, they all fought each other for the most part.
When you say Sugar Ray and Hearns, bam, you say they locked heads at perfect timing for the culture is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, now what we got now is a lot, like you said, a lot of politics.
Answer me this. Who should Mayweather have locked with that he avoided that, when Sugar Ray and Hearns locked? Who did Mayweather should have locked with at that time that he didn't lock with?
See, this is the problem that I have with Floyd. Pretty boy Floyd Mayweather, he fought everybody. He wanted all the smoke. But when he became Floyd Money Mayweather, and there's a question about is he really Floyd Mayweather based off the stuff he's been hearing.
With the bad hands.
you know what's going on.
Dude had like 25 knockouts out of 28 fights, hand surgery, and then he went 22 more fights with very little knockouts. And it's like the story is there, bro. He was not.
You see where I'm going with this. If do you got your phone on you?
I got my phone, but I also can bring up anything we want. I got Google right here. What we looking at?
Okay, look up Floyd's box rate. When Floyd became Floyd Money Mayweather, there was a lot of fighters out there. A lot of people got mad at Floyd because people felt that when Floyd became Floyd Money Mayweather, for some reason he stopped like fighting the top tier black fighters. If you look at Floyd Money Mayweather, most of the fighters that he fought was pretty much either
that generalization is not enough. Name a guy he avoided as far as top tier black person. What am I looking for though? Floyd what?
I think there was a fight at the time. I think Floyd should have fought guys like Paul the Punisher Williams, guys like Joshua Clottey. I think he should have fought Cotto earlier in his career. He should have fought Sugar Shane Mosley, but Sugar Shane, he ducked Floyd. And Floyd was picking these primarily Hispanic fighters because he felt based off his style, black fighters fight a certain way. He would fight a lot of these flat-footed, come forward Hispanic fighters, and then based off Floyd's skill set, Floyd knew that he could pick them apart. So he was very selective about who he fought and stuff. It was just a lot of fights out, and then the Manny Pacquiao fight took forever to happen. So it was just a lot. I felt that there was some more risky fights out there for Floyd Mayweather, but he didn't choose to do it. And then even towards the
people in the chat, if y'all smell a Floyd Mayweather hater, put some ones in the chat. Just let me know.
I'm not no hater. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just saying he didn't want to give some of the brothers a payday.
If y'all smell some TBE hatred, let me know.
I love Floyd the fighter. I just felt that there was some. If you look at his I'll give you an instance. Keith Thurman was like one of Floyd's mandatories, and he elected not to fight him. He didn't want to fight like Errol Spence. He could have fought Sean Porter. He could have fought all those dudes.
The authority to be able to pass on these fights, because like in NFL, NBA, NBL, next week your opponent is your opponent. So what gave him the authority to pass on certain opponents? And
what he did was he decided to take on this whole persona as being the bad guy. I want everybody to hate me and all that kind of stuff. And then a lot of times he would fight those Hispanic fighters. So a lot of times people would tune in to watch Floyd because they was hoping he would lose, and he wouldn't lose. So he built this persona as being the black hat of boxing and stuff. So what he would do is he would fight these Hispanic fighters, and then that in all likelihood he had an advantage against. I'm not knocking Floyd for what he did. I just wish he would have gave a dude like Paul Williams, who was one of the hottest boxers at the time, a shot. So but I love Floyd. I love Floyd as a fighter. Love him as a fighter.
As he was dominating the game, and while he was dominating, man, we were dominating it. And the way he did it, you would have preferred him to give another motherfucker that we never heard of, probably never will hear of, to opportunity to Buster Douglas him, instead of us now having the bragging rights to clown the fishnet golden boy guy. You don't appreciate that, bro?
No, I'm just saying. I wish he would have gave a brother a payday. It would have been no. But what Floyd did led to what's going on now, to where people are saying, "Oh, black versus blacks don't sell," which that's an absolute fucking lie, because that was proof. And see, Floyd started, and see, that's the damage that Floyd did when he started like fighting nothing but like Hispanic fighters. So that's where all this shit came from. Oh, well, black fighters. So he did this much damage.
Go to the movie The Django. Black versus black is always gonna sell in America. It's in their blood. You best to believe it. When I turn on the bout, whether I'm not, I can just push on the power, go to scrolling. If I'm watching fighting, I can be totally oblivious to both fighters. I am thoroughly, totally in support of the darker fighter every time. I don't give a, and I don't knock nobody else for feeling the same way. It's just the nature, bro. So I'm gonna tell you this: for the people really watching, you remember the Django? You remember Leonardo DiCaprio?
Unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately.
Black versus black is never going to be unattractive. Just look at the NBA and the NFL. There is no blacks going against blacks. There will be no competition. They would love to have, that's why we have the phrase Great White Hope. How long has that phrase been around? Since Jerry Cooney or longer? That's my earliest reference to that phrase. Is that how, was he the creator of that phrase or was it before him?
Nah, they created that during like the Jack Johnson days and stuff. Yeah. I forgot who the dude was that was supposed to fight him that they thought was the Great White Hope. Dave Chappelle mentioned it, but what I was saying and getting to my point about Mayweather, they saw what he was doing, so now that's the trickle effect. What you have now, why you can't get these certain fights because black versus black sell. This is why, Loke, we haven't got Shakur versus, and I know you're not a Shakur guy, and I understand that some people this why we ain't got Shakur versus.
I have to admit, I was impressed at his last showing. Yep.
But this is the trickle effect of what happened with Floyd. So now you got the people, well, I don't know if I want to fight another black fighter. And then you have people pushing this movement that it don't sell, which that's absolutely baloney. Because if you look at the most successful fights in history, they all one way or another involve a black fighter.
No, if you mathematically put the best against the best on a more consistent basis, you're going to see a lot more black fighters. I'm telling you from a non-professional standpoint, growing up in a blended community where there was tension from the streets to jail, us as blacks have an understanding it takes more than one of them to whoop us. I hate to let you know that. That's why the only reason you see people from out of town saying, oh, the blacks are scared of the Mexicans in California.
Shit.
The reason why they get a chance to even smell upon that misconception is because the numbers there's so few of us number-wise versus them, you may get the impression that there's a level of dominance of masculinity, which does not exist. It never has and perhaps never will, but I'm going to tell you, if you put the most deadliest insect in the midst of a whole school of the most deadly ants, he got a problem. You slip a gang of Asian 4'11" motherfuckers in on Kimbo Slice, about 15 of them motherfuckers gonna whoop Kimbo ass. It might take 8 or 9, but they're gonna get with him. And that's the thing about what people from the outside looking in that may see, whoa, yeah, we are totally underrepresented if you want to talk about numbers going against certain facets. But you being too silent, man. It's your show. Talk your shit. And you know we've been on the first subject for a whole hour. We ain't got to nothing else yet. We got
I'm glad we had this conversation, but I just was trying to give you a better understanding because, like I said, I respect Floyd. I respect Floyd to the fullest.
Wait, fuck that. I listen to words. A better understanding meaning my understanding wasn't good enough. Was I lacking in understanding? Because you lacking in light. You need a little more light. Matter of fact, if you just probably because that's behind you, that might make it be over.
No, I'm a little scrubby. I'm a little scrubby today, so you know what I'm saying. I'm kind of falling back a little bit. So it's Sunday.
When we pre-produced and I asked you subjects interested on your mind to talk about, you gave me a couple more, and we had a perfect segue into the second thing you mentioned. And then later on, we had another perfect one we missed.
Let's do it. I got as much time as you got. However long you want to be here.
Hey, look, we in the Black Box. This is my guy. It's a Cali Connect, LA to the Bay, LA, Town Business Sports. He specializes in sports, but he knows a lot about everything. He is home on the Black Box, but you haven't seen him much. You will see him more. I'm finna pull up a little something else for us to get into. And in the meantime, let's do this real quick. Oh, my mama. Keep it a Google.
Google gang. Straight legend. Google gang. SBI. Google gang. Google gang in here. You better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, baby.
Bottom line, love life, show us a blessing. Pull up politic and blow us a session. Spot a locomost easty, no mistaking the station. They making them statements, we waking and baking. Word of the day, EC on replay. The marijuana-thon with VJ Keyway, BS and BS. Killing on the track in the black box. We never put feelings over facts. Pay Machiavelli, run me the bread. I don't get mad, I get money instead. I be high, you can tell by a nigga eyes. But wise enough to enterprise, you dig a lies. Contemplating with the Google gang, conversating. Counting coins while these cowards in the comments hating. Only thing count, my count getting another comma. I'm a magnet to the money on my mother mama.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, baby.
You can't keep it a Google, then don't mention me. Run a check through the set, I bet them niggas mention me. Red Bull and Hennessy, I keep the same energy. No matter on a solo or a couple homies with me. Tell them come get me if they want confrontation. I keep a couple shooters with me. And we right here waiting on shit to pop off. Take a nigga top off, you tempt me. All that BS, you can miss me. Slide down Century, doing about 60 in the gutter lane. Faded off yak and drop the pistol, hopping out the rain. I won't change, keep it a Google the only way. Mention me, I come out and play. That's on the gang. We're not the same. I ain't nothing like these rap niggas. Hanging with bangers, no bodyguards, we all strapped, nigga. All truth, no lies, facts over feelings. We ain't gonna start something we can't finish. Google gang.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, bang.
It's SPI and the TBSE, Town Biz, Sports and Entertainment about the Bay, California. We just tapping in on some current events. My guy is a sports expert, and he also is a jack of all trades when it comes to a lot of other popular subject matters. And you can look forward to us collabing on a lot of content creation in the future. But we had a list of things we wanted to get into. We got into one and we kind of overdid it, but it kind of helped us segue into the next. Papoose, Clerrisa Shileds. I think boxing is the name of the game, but we finna just get, whenever you want me to stop this shit, tell me, bro.
Situation just got way messier than actual rap beef, because what started with Papoose taking shots at 50 Cent.
He was a crab in the barrel until Eminem picked him. Made himself famous by claiming he was a victim. His claim to fame was I got shot 9 times, but the truth is he only got shot 5 times.
50 Cent is not just trolling Papoose, has now turned into 50 trolling Clerrisa Shileds. And now Clarissa's making it clear that she's not playing. She might be ready to take this whole thing to a different level, like legal action. For me, Clerrisa Shileds, who normally keeps it on the field, is taking the gloves off and is taking it to the courtroom, because 50 basically violated by posting these allegations that she was messing with a rapper Maserati on Christmas Eve, alleging that she was cheating on Papoose. At this point, this isn't just rap bars anymore.
Heard his jack, that's what came to mind soon as I heard the track. Ball spitting lyrical, condescending to murder rap. Heard he shot his ass to Nina, he deserved the max. About to turn the heat up, I got my hand on the thermostat.
This is internet warfare, relationship drama, public disrespect, and now possible lawsuit talk all wrapped into one. And the craziest part, 50 is doing what 50 always does, turning the entire situation into memes, trolling, and a humiliation online. But this time, a lot of people are saying he may have pushed it too far. All right, y'all, so we're going to break it down from Papoose obviously making a diss song and Clerrisa now trying to sue. Like, this all boils down to one catalyst, right? And it starts from 50 being petty, and he obviously has something going on with Remy Ma and assisting her with her prison sentence, right? And obviously that put Papoose in a weird...
If you ever in a picture with a female and she has on some very sheer garments and your nipples are more protruding than hers, check yourself.
Situation. And now Clerrisa Shileds is inheriting beef. But literally, it all started from 50 and Remy.
I ain't gonna lie. This has to be one of the worst emasculating moments caught on camera ever. I don't know what type of nigga Papoose is to watch your wife do this. What the what? This why he don't respect Papoose, cuz. Could you imagine? This his wife, cuz, just got out of cuz car, cuz over there standing quiet, not even comfortable to approach. Nigga, if you happen, because you're in a celebrity world, to find yourself in this position with your wife, you're supposed to immediately come over there. I don't know what. Man, they got me fucked up. Oh no, look at this shit, God. Look at this shit. You got a softer pink. Oh yeah. Pap, this is where you lost, bro. You could have quit the raps. You should have waited till your chance to put up on 50. Act like you was cool and tried to easy the block captain him, because this all bad.
I mean, you get it. I mean, is it that easy to get to that dude like that? Because every time I see him, I mean, he's swarmed with like all them bodyguards, ex-cops, and feds and shit. So I mean, is it easy to get to him?
Look, he a real demon out here who know. Look, he let it be that easy for Pat because he know who he can play with. If Pat wanted to try him, he gave. Look at his face. Look at him. Look. Hey, y'all know I ain't no 50 fan, but yeah, Pap, you might as well go get a Pap smear.
I don't know, man. That looked too easy. That looked too easy.
No, look, TB, that's your wife though. Not your little bitch, not your main thing, not your baby mama, not your boo. That's your wife, girl. I seen Michael Jackson touch Princess Diana on a casual shoulder at a moment where she was meeting Prince Andrew and Prince Diana, I believe it was. And if you see how tense the moment was, just because Mike was comfortable with touching his wife on the elbow, cuz Pat supposed to activate right here. Like, this is the crash out moment right here.
One besides Keish that I always talk about, and every time I see him, I tell him thank you, was 50 Cent. Mr.
Yeah, I can't have none of this in my life. Bitch, 50 my shut your bitch if you don't shut the bitch.
Curtis Jackson.
Wow.
Whenever I put in for an appellate judgment or an appeal, he made sure that letters was written. he personally signed them, telling, the judge, like, if you do grant her this release, she'll have a job. I'll make sure you
watch this bitch be all over Power, Kanan, whatever cuz got going on, she finna get attached.
She has a job over here. This is where she'll be working, X, Y, and Z. I need to hold him up to that. Like, yo, you was gonna give me a job.
What's up with that?
Let me get that check.
You need to run me on Power.
And can you imagine the amount of over exaggerated attentive head 50 must have got out of her for that gesture? Do you hear what she just said? Do you know what type of scrotum and swipe she will swallow and suck for this type of appreciation? Listen to her. Pap, go get a pap smear, bro.
One besides Keish that I always talk about, and every time I see him, I tell him thank you. But
how much? Look at this. If a nigga do this for you, what do you think? All you got to offer, you can't give him no money, you can't give him nothing. What do you think? You know how she probably sucked the soul. What?
50 Cent, Mr. Curtis Jackson.
Wow.
Whenever
you roll her eyes up in her head, oh, Pap, go get a pap smear.
I put in for an appellate judgment or an appeal, he made sure that letters was written. He personally signed them, telling, the judge, like, if you do grant her this release, she'll have a job. I'll make sure, she has a job over here. This is where she'll
have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire.
Be working, X, Y, and Z. I need to hold him up to that. Like, yo, you was gonna give me a job.
What's up with that?
Let me get that check.
I just think she in jail thinking that all she could think about is swallowing swipe.
You need to run me on Power.
So that's the real tea that's uncovered using all of my investigation skills. But in the latest chapter of this drama, it really picked up after Papoose dropped this diss track, Agent Provocateur.
TB, what's your thoughts at this point, man? I don't want to just get all deep into this shit like the gossip part without us giving some type of perspective, man.
I mean, that's really how the dude move, but I mean, kind of to a certain degree, do you really get brownie points for basically like, messing with a whore? At the end of the day, 50 gonna always take the ultimate L when it comes to a chick, because basically he lost his chick to whatever did he go by, a trisexual or whatever, and basically he wiped up a whore. So I mean, at the end of the day, you could always come back with that one. Who was going to mayonnaise and mustard, party. So I mean, you could always throw that at 50 face, but that's just how the dude move. I mean, he'd rather make them type of moves than get on the mic and stuff. So I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if Papoose should have ran up on him. I wouldn't try to run up on the digger, because I know he traveled with all them cops and stuff, and it might be just a matter of time before Papoose mysteriously get a case put on him by the informant, aka Agent Jackson and shit.
You think Papoose need to leave 50 alone regardless?
So
I think Papoose needs to take control of his situation, shut his woman up. If she is so accomplished and so content, you need to learn how to ignore a lot of the chatter, because there's always going to be chatter about the person on top. But I believe the way Clerrisa Shileds, whatever that bitch name is, I believe the way she responded, there's some guilt there, but I still think Maserati Bud is a hoe for being involved in any of this, because the broad ain't did nothing but, according to you, sneak you a piece of that pussy.
Well, let me ask you this, Lo. I mean, you a little bit younger than me, but you come from the same,
How old are you?
51.
Oh, just very little. I'm 50. Go ahead.
But I just come from a time like real niggas didn't kiss and tell. I mean, if you knock somebody's chick down,
bro, same time, bro.
That just stayed with you, because you really did get brownie points for that, as long as you knew it with now. But the way these niggas be testifying, and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of like, because the real G move is knowing that you did it. Like now, this generation, and that's what I'm saying. How 50 move? He moved like a young nigga.
Now you ain't did it unless somebody else can confirm you did it. That's how they flipped it now.
But yeah, and that's the problem now. I mean, I just see how these young dudes move and shit. Like Now these dudes be like inviting to get a case put on them and shit. I done seen niggas low filming themselves in actual shootouts and shit. And I'm like,
no.
nigga, what you doing?
All right, look, I'm finna shift the whole gear. I'm finna do a video on one of my little homies, right? And it got everything we talking about. Dick and pussy, gang banging, setup, scandalous. But it also got as a young nigga, 18 years old, not realizing what he up against and throwing his life away. Give me 1 second. And that's how we're gonna get everything we talked about. It is, and look, make sure if you're on the channel, go make clips of this and post them to your channel, and I'll repost them. Like any subject matter we talked about. But watch this, bro. I'm finna fuck, and this one of my little homies, cuz. And this is why I don't want to see any young black male go through anything I don't want to see my sons go through. However, everybody know my background, my environment. I'm from the EWC, all of them.
As a man,
I know this young cat. I know everybody that raised him. But watch this right here, bro. I don't know what makes certain people make certain decisions when it's time to like throw their life away as far as talking to the people. Can't give him his props. Shout out to the homie. He ain't tell on nobody. But still, this is the individual you're going to see that was dedicated to doing destruction and didn't give a about facing the consequences. But it still ties in to what we were just talking about. Check this out.
a lot of us have made the mistake of thinking with our head and not the one above our shoulders. Seeing something we like on Instagram, sliding into our DMs, falling into a good conversation, and planning to link up on a late night trying to get cracking. But what if the person we talking to ends up being them dudes from 11A East Coast Block Crib, telling you to pull up on a block they know you feel comfortable on shortly after midnight? This is where Anthony Smithers, aka Infant Loco from A. Trey Hoover, found himself in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2025. At 15 years old, Infant Loco having an exchange allegedly with a young lady, planned to meet up with her in his hood, and ended up being shot.
Oh, I've been 15 almost 4 times. I've been 15 3 times plus 5. That's deep. He was 15 years old. I have 6 children. The youngest one will be 15 in November. Poor baby.
Shot 17 times in the middle of a war that had a lot of people looking at the wrong suspects. Rap News Street Politics, the best hood channel on YouTube. Viewer discretion is advised. Everything we about to go through in this video are allegations set forth by the police in the discovery and investigative reports. All the suspects in this case are innocent until proven guilty. Now, Infant Loco, a 15-year-old kid, hit the internet with a hood vlog. A lot of people started to take notice of him because he had a deformity on his hand, somewhat of an underdeveloped extremity, rendering him disabled. This caught a lot of people's eyes. He's out there with the Hoovers in his set, and a lot of people took notice. But as we dig deeper into the paperwork, we're going to show y'all exactly who plotted on him and stated that they got on to him after that hood vlog. But we got to start everything on October 5th, 2025 on 97th in Vermont. Police respond
97th Street, but a little further east than where they talking about. However, to get from my portion of 97th Street to where they talking about is less than a 7-minute drive. Less than 5 minutes, between 5 and 7 minutes to get for my 97th Street to where they talking about. But let's go.
To a call at 12:46 a.m. in front of an apartment building, and the caller stated hearing over 30 shots minutes before the call. When police arrive at the scene, they find 15-year-old Anthony Smithers lying in the driveway, suffering from 17 gunshot wounds to different parts of his body.
Do you know how difficult / impossible it could be to survive 17 gunshot wounds?
Including his head and abdominal area. Now, a party had just started wrapping up on this street, and when initial reports started circulating at the time of the death, People were associating his murder with that party, and they were also associating it with the Main Street Mafia Crips. At this time, there were allegations of back and forth murders between the Hoovers and the Main Streets, some high-profile cases, and the city was seemingly settling on this situation being a continuation of.
You see, he a cold nigga. Why he doing? Why he do the smoker like that though? But look, while he on this bullshit thinking he the devil, look how the real devil show up. Eastside.
On this situation being a continuation of that war. Now at the scene.
Yeah, you see what they ended up doing? He was doing the devil. But look how the devil show up. The devil really showed up off the east side.
And the city was seemingly settling on this situation being a
Okay, you a baby devil. You just a demon. Watch the real devil.
Continuation of that war.
Oh.
Now at the scene, left behind, there were 24 9mm shell casings and 8 5.7 shell casings. And the shooting also resulted in the apartment building Infant Loco was in front of being hit multiple times while people were just on the other side of the wall sleeping. And this is where detectives make their first move. They start canvassing 97, looking for the surveillance cameras. They end up coming up on one almost immediately, and it depicted all the events that took place right here in the 9 Deuce Hoops.
Hey, look, youngsters, anybody active out here, you better understand. You are up against the cameras.
They pop the tape on, and immediately, a white sedan is seen driving westbound on 97 at 12:37 in the morning. On camera, they also see Infant Loco standing in front of the apartment building while this white sedan hits the block. As it approaches Infant Loco, the front and rear passenger of this vehicle start firing multiple rounds, hitting Infant Loco until he falls to the ground. When he falls to the ground, they proceed to fully jump out the car and proceed to fire more rounds.
I ain't gonna lie, just seeing 97th Street tatted type like that, it's crazy. Are you following the story? You understanding what's going on?
Yeah.
All right.
Rounds at him before getting back into the car and continuing westbound towards Vermont Avenue. Now, with this video footage, they were able to put together that this car has some distinct features. Not only was it a white Honda Accord, but it had distinct rims and what they alleged to be distinct chrome door handles. So they went on ahead and met with Infant Loco's people. His people said that they really had no reason as to why he was on 97th at this time. He had been out the house for a couple days, somewhat in an estranged.
That phrase is indicative of my whole life. Really no reason why he's on 97th at this time. Never had no reason. It says I was an easy, easty, over extra easty keyway. Nueve siete hasta la costa for Devdo, baby.
Strange situation, and was staying in the 50s on 59th to be exact. And they didn't know how he made it over to 97th at this time. They also confirmed that he was a member from H.R. Hoover. And before detectives left the meeting with his people, they came with a possible motive on why he was on 97. They believed that his cousin had dropped him off to meet a girl. And a few hours after this interaction, his people doubled back on detectives.
Yeah, Scarface from the Ghetto Boys, one of his most memorable lines in my mind I can think of right now. He be rapping. I don't even know what he rhymed with, but he say, the beat drop out and everything niggas say, pussy, a nigga's quickest downfall.
And said that they gained access to his Instagram account. And just minutes prior to the murder, they saw his Instagram account, the Vermont Ave Prince 83rd.
Anytime you see a nigga following more people that's following him, you know he's a loser.
In communication with the female by the name of Pretty Ass B with 2 C's and a K on it. As they were looking through this text thread, they seen that Infant Loco had fell into a conversation with this young lady the night prior, October 4th, 2025. When he started off the conversation saying, what's the deal? This female account had got back up with him with an adult style video of her performing specific acts on herself.
Cuz this is a DC Baby Draco vlog or nah?
With the caption, fuck the phone, pull up. They begin to plan on meeting when he mentions that he about to see if his op cousin is gonna drop him off. So
wow.
somewhat insinuating that he got a cousin from an enemy hood that he trying to get to drop him off to meet up with this young lady. Of course, she hearted the message, asked him when he could come. He said his cousin Groovy and he on his way. She sent the address on 97 and says, let me know how far. Now, 97 is again in the 9 Deuce Hoovers, just 1 block south of Colden, one of their main spots.
I'm from Colden Crib.
Over here. This is the area that Infant Loco would be comfortable in, being that he is also from Hoover. Pretty ass B says when he gets to the front, she gonna come outside and get him. She said her parents finna go to sleep and ask him if he for show because she don't want everybody knowing where she stay at.
Mind you, one of the first things she allegedly sent him was a video of her playing with her punani. I know he only 15, but man, if a broad send you a video of her playing with her pussy that quick off the man, this shit was, man, it's a rap right there.
Said he for show, and at 12:34, he sends her a message saying, I'm here. She write back, 12:35, said, I'm coming. And approximately 2 minutes later, Infant Loco was killed in a hail of bullets, going to a meetup of a female that he met on Instagram. Now, detectives are back, continuing to assess the scene over here on 97, and the last lead that they have was the white Honda speeding west towards Vermont.
All right, so far, you seeing what's going on? Cuz up out of here. I thought, cuz, man, I'm in here by myself, y'all. Ain't this a bitch? All right. Fuck it. I thought the homie Tom Business was still here. He gone, y'all. I don't understand how he got gone. We gonna let it keep going. Fuck it. Let him keep going. I'm gonna get up out of here at this over with.
They decided to follow it with license plate reader cameras to somewhat intercept the way of travel to figure out where this whip went. As soon as it spent off for the murder, they caught it on 92nd and Vermont. Then they caught it again on Fig and 91st. They tracked it on Main, got it on Avalon, and when it got to Century and Avalon, they seemingly lost the hit on it by 12.
Century and Avalon, y'all have no idea how familiar. Like, Century and Avalon is one of the most prolific intersections in my life. But our guest who was with us just texted me saying, what he said, shout out to tell Benny, he said, my battery died. Give me like 20 minutes. We not going to do that.
48.
We going to end this without him coming back. Shout out to my boy, though. He'll be back, though.
Now, you know, seeing that text message thread, you know they came with the search warrant for Instagram. And when that search warrant came back, it came back with the device that was used that was linked to the Pretty Ass B Instagram account. They were able to see that 10 minutes after the murder, the Instagram account was deactivated off of Instagram, and the device that the Instagram account was signed in on had also stopped reporting on 91st and Hoover just minutes after the.
Matter of fact, y'all, look, y'all see what this was, because this wasn't, I ain't really, he's my little homies. I got caught up for this, cause my little homie. And cuz, like, really, according to the reports and what's been alleged, threw his life away. And he did it in a respectable manner that he ain't incriminating nobody else if that's what he allegedly chose to do. So I just want to give up an E double for death, though, to the young homie that may or may not have to do the rest of his life in prison according to these charges and allegations and what they claim that he has already admitted to. And, you know, I love all my mom. I'm from all of them. I'm from 97th Street, though. East.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. 97 ways we gon' live it. You can't tell me shit about my crippin'. I done been a loco my living. Now it's time to chase me a bag. 97 ways we gon' live it. Big Mac in the building. 97 ways we gon' live it. We gon' live it. 97 ways we gon' live it. You can't tell me shit about my crippin'. I done been a loco my living. Now it's time to chase me up back.
100,000 feel like something when you're thumbing through it. Done it when some would say one would be dumb to do it. Running circles round rappers on their last lap. PayPal perhaps. Ass cap the cash app. Ass app is how I expect the next direct deposit. Positivity love phone posits. Check the closet. Just say we touching paper is an understatement. Underground label running late. Tell them run the payment. Executive decisions. Check the balance. Time to monetize the talents. I accept the challenge. Memory of crazy tune. 111 days. Local for my days. 97 ways.
97 ways we gon' live it. You can't tell me shit about my crippin'. I done been a loco my living. Now it's time to chase me up back. 97 ways we gon' live it. Big Mac in the building. 97 ways we gon' live it. We gon' live it. 97 ways we gon' live it. You can't tell me shit about my crippin'. I done been a loco my living. Now it's time to chase me up back.
Unable to fake it, fuck how they take it. Heard about the meeting, I was able to make it. Just sick of watching Sherm heads squabble each other while the judge steady handing out lottery numbers. It go down year round, ain't gotta be summer. Life's a bitch and niggas never get apologies from her. Dumber, big and little homies frequently locking. Don't see no other options, that's the reason they flocking. SPI ain't the nigga, how you figure fat? Gift the gab, every gig get a bigger bag. Either name your price or it's appropriation. Finesse game, nigga nice with negotiations.
97 ways we gon' live it. You can't tell me shit about my crippin'. I done been a loco my living. Now it's time to chase me up back. 97 ways we gon' live it. Big Mac in the building. 97 ways we gon' live it.